Stories from the Porch. This is our first stories of the 2020 season, and we're coming to you virtually this summer. We're really sad that you can't be here to join us today, but thank you for watching. And this is our 5th summer we've been doing this. We've enjoyed amazing community support. We've had some really spectacular, incredible speakers come out to the porch, and today is no different. So to start us off for 2020, we have Josie and Cherie, and I'm going to turn it over to them right now.
Jump in, Cherie.
Woohoo!
Here we are! Live! Just fell from the sky!
Look at these beautiful trees. Wow.
So we're always crazy like that. So like Shelly was saying, my name is Josie, and this is Cherie.
Hi, I'm Cherie.
And we're really happy to be a part of Stories on the Porch. And I think I was here twice before, talking about a couple different things.
Yeah.
And we had the hand drum and the big drum. So what we're going to do today is share a little bit about ourselves and our healing journey and how we make it as human beings. And so we have the smudge. Maybe while Cherie's showing it, I'll just show you part of what we do as part of being Indigenous people. So this is sage, one of our 4 sacred medicines. And what we do with this is we clear the space, we clear the energy. And I'm from 6 Nations, Onondaga. And so as she's holding it, anybody that's gathered around, they just respectfully, they don't talk at that moment. Just to give that person that sacred space. And then we just take it to our eyes, put it on our eyes so we can see the good in people. We put it to our mouth so we speak words of kindness. And it already, I just felt like that calming, because we were like driving here, right, and that anxiousness, and it just brings that wonderful, comfortable feeling. Then we bring the smoke to our ears, so we have ears for compassion, and we bring it to our mind, because our mind is like a monkey brain sometimes, like going so fast, right? And it's sometimes hard to get a hold of those thoughts, especially with what's going on in the world today. Then we just bring it to our heart. We have lots of love to give from our heart. And we also have, like, besides our physical being, we have an etheric body. So I'm not sure how far it goes out, but it's like just washing your aura. It's like how you take a shower. You take the soap and the water and you run off all the dirt on your body. It's just washing our energy field. And as we turn around, Cherie will do the back of me. She's very nice. That way, like, so if I was in the grocery store and somebody ran me with the cart, I'm not hanging on to that, right? She's clearing everything that I picked up throughout the day. And if she was doing that with her eagle feather, she'd just tap me to let me know that she's done. And everybody does it differently, right? And then I won't talk for a minute so she can just have her own space to do this. And then some people that wear glasses, they'll put their glasses over it as well. Or if they've brought any sacred instruments, like we have our drums, and they're just going along. And then sometimes they like to lift their foot up because we have those energetic cords that go down into Mother Earth and to the cosmos. And there we go. So we'll start off with a song, and then one of us will talk first. I'm not sure. We just flow like that. We don't have anything written out or planned, and that's the best way to be, right?
Absolutely.
Did you want to say anything before we drum?
Yes, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday!
Today, happy Wednesday. You know, it is a very hot day out today, and I hope everybody's staying cool and staying safe. I just wanted to show you a little bit of my drum. I'm loud. Go back up.
Perfect.
But I gotta come close for the drum.
Yep.
Okay. I just want you to see See my drum there, okay? But what I would like you to acknowledge is how I have inside. I have a recovery program in here. Honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, forgiveness, justice, perseverance, spiritual awareness, and service. So this drum here is part of my recovery, part of my journey, recovering from that hopeless state of mind, body, and spirit. And so this one here is one of my newer made drums. However, I put a lot of energy and a lot of thought, and because I'm on a journey of recovery, as we all are, and all have a story of our own, this keeps me focused and keeps me humble. So I just wanted to share that bit with you. So.
Beautiful. You feeling any song? Sure.
Okay, so this song that we're gonna open with, it came from Mother Earth. Josie and I, when the pandemic started, I had just come back from BC, and we were up at my sister's, and we were drumming. And as we were drumming, we had finished our drumming circle. There was only 4 of us because we were social distancing, but we needed that healing. And Mother Earth and the drum and unity is very healing, at least for my spirit, and I believe for a lot of our spirits. So anyway, we finished our circle, and then we just started drumming, sending healing energy to everybody that was struggling out there physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, when the pandemic had just started. And to the nursing and to all the staff out there everybody was in such fear at that time. So this song, it just came from the earth, and we've been singing it since.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd like to share it with you as part of your healing journey with whatever you may be going through today at this moment. We all have a reason and an intention of something, so please just take a deep breath and just think about maybe a loved one that is on your mind, or somebody that you see maybe struggling, and just know that this energy and this love is sent for them.
To the world.
To the world, yes. We want world peace.
We have it here.
Yes, we do.
Shelley Will's front porch. Love it.
Hey ya, hey ya, oh way, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh way, hey ya, hey ya, oh way, hey ya, oh way, hey ya, hey ya.
Please don't let that happen. I'm not doing Marilyn Monroe right now. All right. So, do you want to go first or you want me to?
I think we can both kind of go back and forth and share.
Why don't you start? Are you okay starting?
Sure, I can start, but I can really take over, so. That's
We got one of those things.
That's her intentions, right?
No.
Okay, I could start. I'll try to minimize it.
Okay, I have an idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so when we were doing the smudge and we do the drumming, it's very healing, right? And Cherie was talking a little bit of recovery. And when I was here before, I talked about recovery and a lot of different trauma that had happened. I got really real, and the elders told me before that I have a story to tell and that's going to help people. I was talking with Cherie about that earlier, and it's true because it's not just a story, and it's my story, but the more that you tell it, it's not reliving it, it's reviewing it, right? Mm-hmm. So somebody that went through similar things that I went through might be like, hey, she acknowledged those feelings and those emotions, came to terms with it, grieved it, felt it, and then let it go. But it's not easy. It's been 40 years since my mother passed away, and that's always going to be an emptiness that's always there because death just sucks. So, talking about emotions, that's what we're going to talk about, and about healing. And one of the things that I had learned over the years, and I didn't grow up with the indigenous culture, just kind of embraced it probably about 8 years ago.
We have neighbors over there watching too.
Is we talk about gratitude and appreciation. And before I was getting ready to come here and I was braiding my hair, it was a reminder that one of the teachings is to braid our hair at bedtime and just to go through what we're grateful for in that day. Because it's really easy to go to bed and dwell on negativity or the sadness that we have, and we still acknowledge those things, but to be grateful for what we do have shifts our energy. We have a good sleep, and then we wake up again, and then we do that again. Start off by being grateful and appreciative. So I'll skip through, not read the whole book, but this is the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address. So the people that are isolated and aren't able to go to church and AA meetings or any kind of support group, it is really important to reach out, right? Even just to call somebody or text message, because we don't know how somebody's feeling. And even myself, as strong as I am, I still feel what's going on out there, like a physical pain in my heart and a deep, deep sadness sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I don't even feel like getting out of bed. Very sad.
Louder?
Be louder? Okay.
Yeah.
So, with those different things, it's we do have a choice on how we feel, but it's good to acknowledge those emotions. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about being thankful, and this is the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address. Greetings to the natural world. So we give thanks to the people. So we give thanks for you two for doing this, and everybody else on YouTube and Facebook too, and you can share it too. I'm okay with that, because even maybe just that song is going to help somebody, right? So we give thanks to the people, and we give thanks to
Mother Earth. Yes. We are thankful for our mother, the earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother Earth, we send greetings and thanks.
And we give thanks to the waters. And every once in a while, you'll hear us talk about the water, and we have water songs. And I didn't say thank you and I love you to the water, but I acknowledge the water now in the spirit of the water, because we're 80% water, and we should be saying thank you.
Thank you, water, for filling Josie.
So we give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. mountains, rivers, and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the spirit of the water. Now our minds are one.
The fish. We turn our minds to the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that we can still find pure water. So we turn to the fish and send our greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
The plants. You see, she has lots of plants, and I bet you she talks to them.
I do.
See, I just
I
knew
love
that because
plants.
they're so beautiful, right? And they don't know they're beautiful unless we tell them. We turn towards the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come. Now our minds are one.
The food plants. With one mind we turn and honor and thank all the food plants we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the grains, vegetables, beans, and berries have helped people survive. Many other living things draw strength from them too. We gather all the plant foods together as one and send them greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
The medicine herbs. Now we turn to all the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. So that's also mental sickness too, like what we were talking about earlier, when we're getting too caught up and worried and fear. Just take a little bit of smudge. But that medicine can also be different, of course, than what we have as our four sacred medicines. It could be something as simple as the spray bottle I have with the rosemary, and I think it's cedar in it. Just clearing the energy, and they are always waiting and ready to heal us. We are happy they are still among us. We are happy there are still among us those special few who remember how to use these plants for healing. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the medicines and to the keepers of the medicines. Now our minds are one.
The animals. We gather our minds together and send greetings and thanks to all the animal life in the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We see them near our homes and deep in the forest. We are glad they are still here and hope that it will always be so. Now our minds are one.
And the trees. We now turn our thoughts to the trees. And Cherie likes to talk about hug a tree, right? Because we can't hug each other right now. You can hug yourself or you can hug a tree, right?
Yes, trees are life.
Yes.
Come from the trees.
Yes.
We're rooted like trees.
Yes.
Hug a tree.
The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter and shade, others with fruit, beauty, and other useful things. Many peoples of the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and thank the tree life. Now our minds are one.
The birds. We put our minds together as one, and we thank all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. See, they like it.
Oh no!
They heard us.
Hello, birds.
Cool. Hey, is there somebody looking down at us from that tree?
The birds.
Yeah. The Creator gave them beautiful songs. See, listen.
Wow.
Amazing.
Each day they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle was chosen to be the leader to all the birds. From the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. Thank you.
They perked up, eh? And then they stopped. The four winds. Wow! Watch out for the wind. It's a tornado. Okay.
Hey, shh, that could happen later.
Okay, not around here. Or anybody I know. Everybody be safe.
Dorothy!
Okay, to the four winds. We are all thankful to the... Okay, I'll hold it.
You're getting a lot of heart reactions right now.
There's no place like home.
Your heels, Dorothy. winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help to bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one.
Okay. The thunderers. Now we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the waters that renew life. We bring our minds together and send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the thunderers. Now our minds are one.
And the sun. We now send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all the fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now our minds are one.
Grandmother Moon. As we put our minds together and give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights up the night sky. She is the leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. By her changing face, we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our grandmother, the moon. Now our minds are one.
And the stars. We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing dew to the gardens and growing things. When we travel at night, they guide us home. With our minds gathered together as one, we send greetings and thanks to all the stars. Now our minds are one.
The enlightened teachers. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who've come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now our minds are one.
And the Creator. Now we turn our thoughts to the Creator. And that's also like God, or some people would pray to the sun as their God, so whoever the higher being is for you, or Great Spirit, and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on this Mother Earth. For all the love that is still around us, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Creator. Now our minds are one.
Closing words. We have now arrived at the place where we end our words of all things we have named. It was not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now our minds are one. Good.
Okay. And then you will do your thing. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to sit? Sit together here? Or you want to stand?
I can stand because I'll probably walk up to the camera.
Okay.
So, I guess I have, 10 minutes maybe?
Whatever you need.
Okay, so this year is new for me, to be live and to, wherever it may go. I believe that Creator's intentions are to maybe touch someone. So the talk today is on emotions, I believe.
Yep.
And I am an emotional wreck today. So I'm very humble. I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to tell you and share with you exactly from my heart and where I'm at today. So first of all, I like to say hi. My name is Cherie. I am an alcoholic. I'm a recovering addict. I haven't had a cigarette in 11 years. And I believe Creator has me here today because today is my 17-year anniversary of being clean and sober. So, I do belong to a fellowship, and normally what we do is we celebrate anniversaries, and and it's not about me, it's about the next person that comes into those rooms that is looking for help. Anyway, so I share that, the most humility, and that it's not about my ego, it's about how I struggle on a day-to-day basis with my emotions and how I can persevere. Sometimes it's day by day, sometimes it's a moment by moment, sometimes it's an hour by hour. My sobriety, which is a soundness of mind, which all of us can relate to, whether it's a drinking or drugging or something else, is about soundness of mind. So my sobriety, my soundness of mind is contingent upon my spiritual maintenance. So what am I doing for myself today? For me, every day I get up in the morning, once my feet hit the floor, I thank Creator for another day. I get up, I get my coffee on, and I start being grateful for the water, like Josie shares, and for the coffee. There's other days I get up and I'm running and I don't look at any gratitude. And when I don't look at the gratitude of what my day has given me, then I find that my day crashes pretty quick. If I'm not in that state of gratitude, I become irrational, irritable, and discontent. So I do find that sometimes I have to take a step back and retreat, because I can start my day over at any time. I can. Our day doesn't say that when that alarm clock goes up that that's the beginning of my day. I can start it. I can restart my day right now. And that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I have the ability to know when I need to step back and I need to retreat and I need to be able to take care of myself. Because if I don't take care of myself, I'm no good to anyone else. I am an employee. I am a mother. I am a partner. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a friend. I may, be somebody's friend that's going to end up walking down the street any moment now. And, I have to be mindful of what's going on with me up here. They say emotions destroy intelligence. And I really do believe that, because when I get emotionally distraught over something, I don't stop to think, I react. Instead of going through and filtering the process, instead of that whole thing of just jumping and doing and reacting and then feeling guilt, remorse, bitterness, and shame. And so I really try to work on that, and sometimes it's draining, working on the emotional being, because that's what I am. I live off emotions, right? And I really have to keep myself in check. And I wanted to show you. So this here, if you can see that says First Things First, and it says June 10th, 2003 to 2004. It says one day at a time. So that was my first year medallion that I had gotten when I first got sober. And I'm grateful for that, and I carry it in my car, I carry it in my purse, I carry it with me because it reminds me that that I just have today, and anybody can fight the battle of just today, or just that moment. It's when there's a poem that says, it's when I have remorse of what happened yesterday, or I'm putting myself into tomorrow, that I can't be here and be in the moment. So I have to be here just for today, because I don't know what's going to happen. Through my journey in the last 17 years, I lost my father. My father was one of my biggest supports. He passed away with cancer, and he would have been here for me today. So my emotions are, and I've had a few suicides in my family, or my extended family. In my recovery, I've lost a lot of people to drug addiction, overdoses, and and just age, right? It's life. It's life that continues to keep happening, right? But how am I going to cope with it? So I choose sometimes, I'll isolate or I'll retreat. But the biggest thing that has helped me has been the drum, has been the medicine, has been getting in touch with Mother Earth,
hugging a tree. You know, when my first year of trying to keep my emotions in check, one of the biggest things that helped me was the sweat lodge. I went into the sweat lodge. I would go once a month for the first year of my process of changing my life. And you know, it allowed me to be with me. It allowed me to be still, and it allowed me to be one with Creator. And you know, I'm glad that I keep continuing to branch out and learn more of Mother Earth and of the teachings, so I can be part. You know, we all come here, not with a booklet, right? We all come here, and the best thing that we can do is take our lessons and our experiences and move forward and learn how to you know, take those things and be able to help the next person. You know, I showed up today because, you know, my best friend here says, hey, you know what, I'm doing stories on the porch. How would you like to, you know, to be a part of that with me? How would you like to share with me? Because we do a lot of, you know, healing stuff together, and you know, it's people like Josie here that help me stay connected with me and with the drum and with the earth. And when I start getting a little crazy out there, which I do anyways, I become a little, she helps bring me down sometimes, or look at
join
things.
you.
Or she joins me. Yes, if you ever want to go on, you can go on Creator's Circle of Drums and check out some of our live at 5. Some of it you might want to delete, but that's okay, because you know what, we're human. We're human beings just trying to be, right, in this world. And you know, there's I brought, so this here I read this morning, and I found it is just one of the many books that can help people along their journey, and it's one of the daily meditations that I like to read in the morning. And you know, Melody Beattie, I love her. She does a lot of codependency and stuff. And so if you know, you're looking for some good positive reading and learning more about yourself and what maybe triggers you, or why do we act the way we do, and you know, they're great reads. There's Codependency, No More, Beyond Codependency. They're just some things. I'm not trying to solicit, you know, like books and that. However, but you know, again, this is about sharing my experience and my strength and my hope and what I do on my journey today. So, so today's reading is June 10th, and it's called Responsibility. So this was quite funny when I opened this up, because as we're talking about you know, emotions and oh yeah, first before you I went to treatment, okay, because I needed to get this noggin on straight. And you know, you go on your emoji list, right? See how many emotions there are. There's like, I know the list they had like 52 emotions. I grew up, kids were better seen, not heard, right? You don't talk, you don't say anything, you go in the corner, the kids go in the basement, the adults get together, right? And I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to think. I didn't know what feeling was anger, which one was sad, which was empathy, which was remorse. And so, you know, I was taught to take that emoji list, right, and identify what feelings it is, because you know what? Fear can be masked in many ways, right? What I really need to take a look at what is actually triggering me into fear, or you know, sometimes it wasn't fear, it was anger. I would get really, really upset, and I would cry and cry and cry, and then all of a sudden it wasn't because I was upset, it was because I was fearful. So anyways, one of the biggest things is identifying what our emotions are, right? And that is half the battle. And I know when I can identify what my thoughts, feelings, my actions, and my reactions are, then, and I can retreat and take a look back at it, whether I'm journaling or whether I'm just taking a moment because I've reacted improper in this small situation, whether it's the grocery store, like, get over, lady, you know, or somebody cuts me off, right? And my thoughts, feelings, and actions, I need to always take a look back at what is it why I reacted that way. And the majority of the time it may be fear-based. fear that I'm going to be late for an appointment, so that lady's in my way. Somebody cut me off, fear that I almost got crushed, right? But in the bottom line, I don't know what's going on in someone else's backyard. So, when we talk about judging, sometimes, we don't have a right to judge because we don't know what's going on with someone else, right? So anyway, here's the reading I'll give you, and then I will sit down and I will pass it to beautiful Josephine Valley.
Hey, they didn't know my last name till now.
Oh yes, it's anonymity.
Top
You
secret.
don't know our last name. Okay. So responsibility. Okay. Self-care means taking responsibility for ourselves. Taking responsibility for ourselves includes assuming our true responsibilities to others. Sometimes, when we begin recovery, we're worn down from feeling responsible for so many other people. Learning that we need only take personal responsibility for ourselves may be such a great relief that, for a time, we disown our responsibilities to others. The goal in recovery is to find the balance. We take responsibility for ourselves. We identify our true responsibilities to others. This may take some sorting through, especially if we have functioned for years on distorted notions about our responsibilities to others. We may be responsible to one person as a friend or as an employee. To another person, we're responsible as an employer or as a spouse. With each person, we have certain responsibilities. We tend to those true responsibilities. We'll find balance in our life. We are also learning that while others aren't responsible for us, we are accountable to us in certain ways. We can learn to discern our true responsibilities for ourselves and to others. We can allow others to be responsible for themselves and expect them to be appropriately responsible to us. We need to be gentle with ourselves while we learn. Today, I will strive for clear thinking about my actual responsibility to others. I will assume these responsibilities as partaking care of myself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That was fantastic, Sherry.
Yes. Isn't she?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here. You wanna come up here?
Sure, you got yelled at.
Okay. That was really good, Sherry.
I love you. I love you too,
Yeah, I like that. I did not know she had a book because I seen the videos. I didn't know she had a book. Melody Beatty? Melody Beatty, not soliciting.
I didn't hear her name. Did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Great read.
Yeah, on YouTube too.
That's
Some
the
videos.
language of letting go.
Awesome. Okay. That was really good on emotions, and I like the one, like a few that I didn't plan on saying, but one was remorse, and then it made me think of what I was going to say about forgiveness and fear. I know I wanted to talk about fear with everything that's going on, and of course I want to talk about love. And then I was looking at your spinny thing there, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of all our energy centers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I learned about that when I took the yoga teacher training. And then later I became a Reiki master. And for me, level 1, level 2, advanced and master, it's all the same. It's tapping into that energy, being in the moment, and then helping somebody. Like Sherry gives me Reiki, I give it to her, and we do drum Reiki on people. So I'll talk about energy centers and emotions, and then we'll finish at the end with a couple of songs to drum. So we good for the time?
Yeah.
Lots of time? Okay.
Lots of time.
All right. So when we were talking about emotions, like when I talked with Shelly, I thought, okay, what's the topic? I'll probably drum. I really like drumming. And so emotions. So we're given these emotions, and I think a lot of them are eating something at that time, or it's fear of a loud noise, and then the baby starts crying. And then here we are as adults, as women and men, and living our life, and then like what Cherie was saying, how like if somebody cuts us off or something, and that's exactly what happened to me earlier when I was going to meet Cherie. This guy was tailing me, and I'm trying not to be irritated by it because I'm trying to be in a good place so I can keep putting that good energy out to the world, because things are effed up. I didn't say I almost did, and then I was gonna say it for a joke. Okay, so I try to be in a good state of mind with everything that's going on, because it seems like I don't watch the news, very, very minimal, and I won't get into that because we can already feel it, right? You just feel like, oh my God, she said the news, right? We don't want to go there. I'm not going to go there. But it's all about those emotions and how we choose to feel and what we go through on a daily basis. And even like what Cherie said, minute by minute, hour by hour. And we can shift it, and we can start our day later, right? So as I'm going to meet her, and this guy's tailing me, I'm like, oh, he'll probably back off in a minute. And I put like a nice protectional energy around me. And he backed off a little bit, and then he was closer, and then he's over the line, and I'm like, I almost swore again. I didn't, though. so I'm like, really, buddy? Like, come on. I just want to get where I'm going. Like, and then I thought, all these things go through my head in a matter of just like 2 minutes, right? Maybe a minute and a half. Just going down one street to the other, and then I'm gonna get to Cherie. And he's just like coming up close and coming over, and I just want to yell, well, if you want to effing pass, then just pass, right? And then I thought, like at first I was agitated. Then I tried the good energy, and then I'm just like furious, because it's like, what is the hurry, right? What is his problem? And then I thought, what if he is in a hurry? And then I'm like, no, he's a younger guy in a cool car. So even though I'm not a guy, I used to have a nice Acura with a nice sound system and the big bass, and I was that idiot. Where are you going, right? So then it was like a reality check there. That used to be me, but that's not me now. So I just kind of like, he'll be gone, and I'll be gone my way, he'll be gone his way. And then once I thought that, he made a left, and I'm like, good. So that's just like a little example of emotions, right? And you don't always have to be happy, and there isn't any emotions that are right or wrong. And when I came here before for Stories on the Porch, and I talked about a lot of trauma that happened and everything, how I worked through certain things was through therapy, and I went through therapy because it seemed like I was stuck, right? So after I did the therapy and I let go of a lot and I forgave a lot, it kind of like opened up my being to like new experiences and to be a better mom and to just like enjoy life, and then start to believe in myself too, to be able to do the yoga and Reiki. So while I'm talking about that, before the shutdown happened, I had just signed up to become a GCOG instructor, because I was doing that out at the Village of Healing and Wellness. Hi, George. No, I mean, I got a video later.
That's George too.
That guy, our neighbor is George.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
You got a brother, George. His name's George.
She's like, social distance. Okay, so when I started doing that, the GCOG, I'm like, wow, this is working out a lot of trapped energies, because like a lot of physical pain that I went through from a not nice person after my mother passed away, it seemed to somehow manifest in my body. So I wanted to talk about repression too. So when I was younger and all these horrible things happened to me, I put it down, I put it down, I put it down, and now I'm 48, and now it's just starting to come out, like probably like 6 years. Something will trigger it, right? So I decided just this last Monday, I'm just going to take a whole week of detox. I'm going to detox my physical being, my mental being, and my emotional being. So I thought, well, how am I going to do that? So on YouTube, there's solfegal frequencies and binaural beats, and when you put that on, those certain frequencies, they're just something like it just puts you in that moment and gets you to just sit down and just take a deep breath. I'm not sure where they came from, if it's the sound of the universe or like there's also like the Schumann resonance, which is like I think the sound of the earth, and then there's also like that Om sound, which is the sound of the universe, and that's 528 hertz. So with those different frequencies, it just puts me in a great mood no matter what. And then I thought, okay, now I'm going to start clearing out old stuff, and I'll share with you one of the things that I shared. And if I cry, oh well, Cherie cried, so I got to kind of balance it out, right? Okay, so when I was 8 and my mother passed away, one of the things that my aunt said was that it was my fault. So I carried that like a whole lifetime, and I knew in the back of my mind it wasn't my fault, but when you have like the only role model around you telling you that, you believe it. And the age that I am now, I can put in my own thoughts to believe what I want to believe. And this happens time and time again, right? Like what Cherie was saying, growing up, I went through the same thing. Children are better like not heard and not seen. And like that's not the kind of mom that I am or she is. We welcome, we look them in the eye, they have something to say, and they're important, and they're one of our greatest teachers. So that was one thing that I had to clear out in my healing. Was that the guy? No. Okay, don't look. No, just kidding. It wasn't him, but that was a nicer car. But
There's a girl, yeah.
oh wow.
She rocks.
So with that emotion that I had before that I carried, and I chose to carry it. I didn't know I was carrying it, but I always did because I repressed it, right? And then I just wanted to clear this out because I knew it wasn't true, but so I had to go through the whole thing, the whole conversation in my mind. I'm like, that wasn't my fault. I wasn't there. If anything, I wanted her to be there. You know, so that's just one emotion, was guilt, right? And guilt is on the bottom of the chart, like shame, guilt, and fear, all the way up. It would go, I didn't bring it with me, but if you want to look it up on YouTube, just look up the vibrational chart of emotions, and you'll see it's got different colors, like the colors of our energy centers, and it'll be like fear is what a lot of people are in right now with the thing that's going on, all the way up to enlightenment. I don't think I'll ever be like Buddha and enlightened because I'm a human and I'm keeping it real with my emotions, and I don't want to be like Thich Nhat Hanh and have peace in every step. I want Cherie throwing me in the mud when we're doing stuff and rolling around and having fun and just being who I am and expressing these emotions as long as like I'm not hurting anybody, right? So just trying to think. So all these different things that happened when I was younger and all these different emotions, personally, I'm going through them to release them. So I released that, but before when I talked about it, I cried because I still was carrying on to it. So that was just one of the things, so guilt. So all these different emotions that we have, we can process them, work through them. A couple weeks ago, as I was doing another clearing of like the grief of losing my mother 40 years ago, it's like that's not ever gonna go away. Grief is not ever gonna go away. It's always gonna be there, and it's the same. But I had to accept it because I didn't want to accept it because I didn't understand anything about death. I just thought she's gonna go, she's gonna come back, and then it was just I just thought it just sucks. It just fucking it just sucks,
Oh, it's
right?
okay.
And then I thought other people have moms, and then it's like I don't know when Mother's Day is and Father's Day because I don't want to know because it's a sad time. So I just kind of like skim through birthdays and holidays, hoping that nobody will remember birthdays and stuff like that. But people that really love me remember those things and acknowledge that. And one of the other feelings that I had was not being noticed when I was younger. So that's something that I'm still working through, is that I actually am here. I do exist. I am important. I am worthy. People love me. So
Yeah, we do.
yes, and I love you guys too. Not yet. That's later. So look up those emotions and just remember, like, you do have a choice on what you feel, but feel what you're feeling. Don't put it down. Don't repress it. Do your best and find people that will support you, because they will. And a lot of reasons like why I didn't talk to anybody about half of the shit was because I didn't want to burden anybody. Because what I did decide to open up with, the guy that I was dating at the time, like 7 years ago, and it was like a horrific thing that I shared when I was 5. He goes, "Oh, that was a long time ago. You should just get over it." And it was like, "Oh my God, after all this time, I talk about it. It's just, oh, forget about it." No, like, I just recently had to get real with that. What happened? And I'm not that little girl anymore. And I am safe. At that time, I was not safe. And the world was horrible. And I was probably threatened to keep quiet. And I was, whatever I felt at that time, I don't remember, but I did write it out. And that next part of healing, I'm going to burn those papers in a fire. And me and Cherie were talking about that earlier. And she'll be there probably burning her own papers in the fire. And no bodies, we won't do that. But,
Just stick people on paper.
so another good thing for healing, like when they talk about getting out in nature and taking a break from electronics, I really encourage people to try that, because if you're watching the news, it's going to put you in a state of like I'm not saying that it's not real or it's not serious. So I won't even get into conspiracy theories or anything like that. But if you're watching that, just think of how you feel once you put on the news or a person that may not be adding to your life in a good way, right? So you might have had like this friend for 10 years, or you feel obligated to go to that family dinner, but you know you're going to feel like shit after. Then you don't have to go. You don't have to put yourself in that situation. And even if you just don't feel like making dinner and you want to just go eat out, you don't always have to be perfect. You don't always have to be what somebody else thinks that you should be. So with the emotions, we'll talk about like say depression, or somebody that has anxiety and depression. And I've seen that a lot with my friends over the years, and I've seen them heal for the most part with it. And from what I've seen with anxiety is that if you're in the present moment, that anxiety doesn't exist. So like the boyfriend was having a panic attack, and I didn't know much about anxiety, depression, panic attacks, and to be able to talk to somebody just to get them in the moment, to get them out of that, like he said that I helped him a lot. And I didn't see that. I just thought a friend just listening and talking. But to be in the present moment, even just standing on the grass, taking a few breaths with the sage or the essential oils, you're not reminded of the past and the shit that happened and the sadness or trauma that you went through, and you're not worried about the future of the world coming to an end, because it isn't. It's like a rebirthing. You're in the moment, and you're doing stuff like this, right? With the beautiful flowers and friends and water and medicines and drumming, and it's what you choose it to be. So with your emotions, you don't have to keep it in, and just find somebody that you can talk to. And if you don't have somebody, you always have yourself. And I think we forget that a lot, that we're never alone. I don't know how many angels we all have with us, but they are there. And I talk to my mother, I talk to my uncle, and they talk back. They think I'm crazy. I don't care. That's another thing. Don't worry if people judge you for anything too. But about the emotions, if somebody was anxious or depressed or even, we'll say, angry, anger is above, like, say, despair. If somebody's like, "Oh my God, my life is so horrible, I lost my job, I'm losing my house," and those are real things that are happening right now, anger is like a higher frequency than despair. So even though it's an emotion that doesn't make us feel good, it's still going up. And then as you go up and let go of resentment and forgive, which isn't easy and it can take a lifetime, you get to like a neutral place. And when you're neutral, it's like you're just being like in that eternal presence. and then you start bringing in good stuff like Cherie and her humor and her fun, and then it goes up to like fun and joy, which is like exciting, and then finally enlightenment. But I think anybody can be enlightenment for like small amounts of time, like I was saying, because you can't just be like la da dee da like constantly, right? Like we have lives to live, we have children to take care of, and beautiful flowers to water and stuff like that. But with the emotions, you choose who you surround yourself with and what you do, and it's really important to put good things into your body, to acknowledge everything that's around, and not be in that rushed mentality like a lot of us are on, you know, that autopilot. Like, where's everybody going? Everybody's like rushing to get here. And then when you are here, you're like always thinking, how much time do I have before I go? When we should, not should, but we could just be and just do. And I think that's about it.
That was incredible.
Yeah. How much time do we have?
It is 7:35. 25 minutes.
25? Okay. So, did you want to say anything? Or
Well, there was this workshop that I did, and it was actually here in Niagara Falls. It was up around the corner, and it was a mindfulness workshop. And one of the things, the best things that they had explained was how to be in the moment, how to stay in the moment. So what he did was he handed out a raisin, right? And you had to look, and you had to acknowledge the raisin. How did it feel? What did it look like? What color was it? So, and then you had to take it and put it in your hand. And then what was the texture? All the who, what, where, when, why, and how. And then you had to put it in your mouth. Then you had to roll around. And this whole process was like 10 minutes. You had to be the raisin. You had to, you know, and you had to acknowledge every little bite and how it actually broke down. So those who really struggle with trying to just be in the moment, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of practice. And I find, you know, me, you know, like I'm trying to being in the moment, I'm being respectful, I'm listening to Josie. I love what Josie had shared. That was fantastic. And I did find myself twice going, look at the bird.
She's enlightened!
You know? So it was all about coming back to the moment. It was coming back to acknowledging where am I right now? What am I listening to right now? You know, there's a saying that if you're in a barber chair long enough, you will get a haircut. Josie said that many times when she was talking. We become what we surround ourselves with, right? So if I'm going to sit and I'm going to listen to negative, self-talk or somebody talking me down, or just listening to that as I did for many years, it's very hard to come out of that hole. But if I continue to do self-affirmations, that was one of the biggest things that they had taught me when I was out at the center. I had to write down these 3 things that I liked about myself, and I had to put them on the mirror. And every morning when I was looking in the mirror, I had to say, I'm a beautiful, I'm a competent, I'm a smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And I had to continue to do that, you know. It takes 21 days to make or break a habit, so the statistics say, right? And so, you know, just try one thing for 21 days, see what happens, you know. We have a lifetime of trauma, a lifetime of experience so far, different things that have happened in our life, good, bad, or indifferent, and it's really important to acknowledge those things and take them all as lessons, as things that have made us on our journey and who we are at this present moment. And what do we have? Because we're all here for a short time. So what do we choose to do today? You know, today we choose to, you know, just come and sit on your porch and share, you know, our experience, strength, and hope, and to be able to, you know, and then, you know, somebody that's watching us, you know, if you didn't get something out of what we're sharing, then you know what, turn the YouTube channel, go to the next one, right? No, I'm just joking.
Turn the dial if you don't like us. Just share it, just his crazy adventures.
But, you know, it's really humbling, and it's really an honor to be able to come and sit here and balance it with that positive. So, you know, if I'm going to say, well, I did this bad thing, right? I stole $10 from Josie, right? I'm just joking, I didn't. But, you know, I have to look at the positive. But
She gets ice cream.
I know ice cream. Yeah. But look at the positive, right? Like, because, you know, there's always something, well, it's because somebody needed food, right? So, but it doesn't make it right. But what it makes is that I have a tendency of beating myself up too much. That was a horrible example.
She would never do that.
But no, I wouldn't. Because I was a liar, I was a cheat, I was a thief. I was not only to myself, but to my family. When I was out there practicing for many years, I wasn't that daughter and sister and friend, right? So I was very selfish, self-centered, self-seeking. And, you know, today I'm not, I hope that I'm not any of those things. You know,
She's very giving.
I sometimes we have to be a little selfish for self-love, because we can give ourselves out so much to other people that we forget, and that's where Melody Beatty comes in. Sorry, lady.
Did you want to do that?
It's the same as Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I just, you know, I've been on this journey of life, and you know, I have two children. One of them, and I have two grandchildren, actually. One I dragged through my alcoholic career, and my other one I've been dragging through my recovery career. You know, I am a valuable employee, and I am a good friend, and a good partner, and a good mom, and a sister. And you know, I had posted. I don't normally on Facebook. I don't get too involved on posting my personal things on. But today I acknowledged that I had this day. I had just today another day of recovery. You know, without that drink and that drug, and how it is just a moment, right? And the feedback and the affirmations and listening to what other people had to say, to hear my family say how grateful they are and how much they love me, and how inspiring I am to them, and how helpful I've been to them when for many years I caused them nothing but heartache and pain. You know, so it's really neat to see how you know, life can balance out. You know, when we try to do the next right thing, right? And we do a lot of sharing circles with our hand drums, with our big drums, and just sometimes just sitting in a circle with women, with mixed, you know, men and women, and we do this to build each other up, not tear each other down. You know, a lot of us that we find that are in those circles have been torn down for so long that they're looking for that building up, to be out of that hole, or they're there and they just want to keep filling and recharging their batteries, right? And it's so important that we take that time and recharge our batteries. You know, and we do that in our sharing circles. You know, we do it in our drumming circles. We do it, you know, I do it at my meetings, you know, to connect with like-minded people. Because if I'm going to constantly hang out with people that are drinking and using, then the chances are I'm going to pick up a drink and I'm going to end up using. But if I surround myself with people that have nothing but love and light and are really trying to continue to work on their well-being in this imperfect world, then that's what happens. I'm going to continue working on that for myself. So I can ramble, eh? Your turn.
No.
Your turn.
Okay.
Water.
I'm gonna need you to sit right here.
Too close.
Well, I'm gonna be standing. Okay.
With my
drum?
No, just sit right there.
The birds really have something to say tonight.
Yeah, they say, in the morning, they say, come out, it's a beautiful day.
Can I do one thing now?
Sure.
Okay. So I just want to give you something, okay? And it's really important for me to give it to you because we've talked once before, and I know where your journey has been in your life, and it's not for me to share, but I want you guys to have this. So if you look at that, okay? So it says honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love. And that is from Akron, Ohio. And that there is Bill, Bob, and that is part of the recovery program. And I want you guys to have it. Okay.
Thank you.
You hang on to that.
Thank you.
Aw, that was nice. I'll check it out.
Bring the Kleenex.
I have some over.
You know what? That was given to me on my 15-year anniversary, and I know it was actually just after that we had met, and I always do what the universe tells me to do, and I think Josie's taught me that material things of the world, when the universe, when Creator tells us, we're just keeper of things for a short period of time. And I was no longer the keeper of that it was called for you.
You know that means a lot to me.
So.
You can't hug her till the video's over.
Okay.
We're social distancing.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Oh, I love you. I love you both.
Okay, have a seat. Okay, so talking about the emotions, and when me and Cherie kind of did a rundown earlier, we didn't have nothing planned because she had said when you're real, that's what people like and appreciate, and I agree with that because when I was here before, I didn't have a script. When we do the sharing circles and the drumming, we don't have our songs pre-planned unless it's like for a college or something, then we'll have like the songs and stuff, but we just kind of wing it and just be, right? So what I was saying about taking that time to myself, I didn't want to burden Cherie with stuff because we're all going through our own stuff, and she's like right in the heart of it at the hospital, and you know, like she gets up very early in the morning, but she is there, right? And she's always there, like just a phone call or a text message away, and I appreciate Cherie. I appreciate you, like sister.
We are sisters.
We are sisters. And like part of like the journey with myself with the drum and then the big drum, other women got a lot of backlash with the big drum, and I have different teaching that is from the Lakota women, and I've never had any backlash. And when we take that drum to like say Brock or Niagara College or Pathstone's mental health or wherever we're called to, like the drum, it's like it just takes us wherever we're supposed to be, like here today. And I just see, I ramble too. Anyways, my point is that since we were bringing the big drum out at the Village of Healing and Wellness, it started out, we only went there, was it twice, right? January, February? Yeah. So we brought it there, and we had 4 big drums the first time that we were there, and probably about maybe 30 hand drums. And then the next month, there was almost 100 people there, and we had 2 Indigenous traditional elders there, Shannon Thunderbird and Gail Whitlow, and then I was also gifted an eagle feather at that time, and I was like just crying, and I was like, wow, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And as I see Cherie, she's doing the same thing that I'm doing. Like, she's holding drum workshops, so women that have been like in domestic violence or have been abused or whatever, she's helping find their voice. And by doing something like that, it's that chain reaction of healing, right? So as we're healing and that's going out there, I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to do for her to show my appreciation. So I have it up here.
Seeing something over here?
Yeah.
Was she here earlier?
Okay, close your eyes.
She likes to make me cry.
Yes. So, actually, you can open them for a sec. Okay, so, the reason why I wanted to make this for you and gift it to you in March was just because you also are inspiring and I just love you. And I just wanted to make something for you, and as you and I are like discovering our roots and where we're from and we're putting out that good energy, I was going to give it to you at the village, but then the shutdown happened, and then when we were talking earlier and you're like, it's my 17th anniversary, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then when I got home, I was like, oh, I could just do this now. I could just give it to this wife, like right here.
Horrible.
All right.
It's fantastic.
No. Okay, so it's not finished. It's like, I'll explain when you pull it out. She will cry, and I'm just gonna soak in this moment forever. So you're gonna finish it because you're the seamstress. So. So you have to sew it. So open it up. And you gotta cut one side. Okay, you can stand up. So what this is if you've been to the powwows and you see the women that dance around with the fancy shawls. Come here, Cherie. So she has to cut off the one side. She's got to hem it. She's got to sew it. And I didn't put it on because it's yours. I know. So what? Yeah,
It's my
explain.
color.
I know. So see?
Give
Turn
her your
around.
mask so I
Turn
can
around.
hug her.
So it's not done
That's
because I'm not a
amazing.
seamstress, but she's like really good. She's sewn like a bunch of masks for the people. She's got the sewing machine, and it's so funny because it's just, yeah. So she'll cut off that side. I can't do it because it has to be measured specifically for her. But I got all the stuff like that goes with it. But I still didn't want to put it on because she likes stuff the way that she likes it. But this would probably go like here, like that. And then these little felt things, you would sew these in so your hand would be in there and not let it go. And then like these little things, you could put them up by your hands or on the side bottom. And then the ribbon, you could probably like iron it on with like that, I don't know the name of it, or you can sew them on. So I got silver and white, so they can go any kind of design, like in a V, whatever. Okay?
You know that the big book of alcoholics Anonymous.
No, I just know your favorite color is blue. But
Very
her and I are always like just dancing around like butterflies. Yeah.
The wind, see?
Yep. So it caught a little bit on here, but I'll show you.
Won't fix it.
Yes. And you snip all the bottom. So the next powwow, when the shutdown's done, there will be Cherie. So she can put butterflies on it, whatever she
I'll
wants.
be the butterfly.
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
So those times that I went to Eurocrafts, she's like, "What'd you get?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I bought a book."
I'm gonna give you free. We're not online.
Okay. Okay, and now we will finish off with a couple songs.
she's really working on my emotions.
That's what we're talking about today.
See? Emotions, yes. Being real.
Yep. So that's her regalia.
That is beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful.
And when I seen that blue, Talise was with me and she helped me pick the color.
I can see her. I'm surprised she didn't sew it for me.
Well, yeah, I would rather you do it because like I didn't want it to be too big or too small. And she's got the sewing machine. She'll be able to. Yeah.
See, it would have been done if I gave her the sewing machine I have at my front door.
I know. And then she shows up a couple weeks ago with a sewing machine. Remember the blue thread? That's all in there. And I was like, I'm like, she picks up like we're on the same wavelength a lot. And I was like, this is the blue thread for her shawl. Oh,
I got her a sewing machine. Well, she's at Aero Crafts. I get her a sewing machine.
Yeah, there's no synchronicities. Right?
No, none at all.
So we're gonna drum a couple songs and then.
Yep.
Where's my? Oh,
Right there.
it is. All right, have a drink, Cherie. Have a drink.
What do you want to sing?
We can do the Believe one I made, and then maybe the bear song's nice, or the eagle. The bear or the eagle, or whatever you think.
Home.
You want to do that one?
All three. We have time
Okay.
for three?
Sure.
Okay. Home?
Yeah.
Okay, this one's home. We're home. We're moving in.
Already our house.
We've got lots of space.
George.
This is Brenda McIntyre's song. It's nice. You do two each?
Sure.
Okay. Way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, way hi way ah, way oh way hi oh hey oh hi oh hey anaya way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, way hi way ah, way oh way hi oh hey oh hi oh hey anaya way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, way hi way ah, way oh way hi oh hey oh hi oh hey anaya way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, oh way hi oh way ah, way hi way ah, way oh way hi oh hey oh hi oh hey anaya. Okay, what's the next one?
There.
Sure.
We want to do that last one. Do yours or there? Wow, you really got sun today.
Oh, I know. And I was thinking because I took a quick shower, like I had a shower, and then I'm like, I'm so hot because we sat in the hot sun for like an hour. And I'm like, I look like a raccoon, and you're gonna be alive later. And then, but I don't wear makeup hardly ever. And then I'm like, so what? I'll just put my glasses on, or just so what?
Give thanks. for
You
the
look
animals.
beautiful.
Thanks for the sun today.
And for looking like a raccoon.
Yeah, thanks for the raccoon. I don't know. We can do the Believe one I made. So the Believe one, because I believe in myself, and I think that if somebody tells you something and they say, oh, you can't do it, and you believe that, then you're going to spend your lifetime believing what that person told you that you can't do. But if you believe in yourself, then nobody can take that away. So let's believe in world peace. Let's believe that you can be what you want to be. We'll do two each. Hey, hey, hey.
beautiful.
It's catchy, eh?
Yeah. And you wrote that one?
Yeah, well, yeah. It came to me in the bathtub.
It came from the water. Mine came from the earth. Hers came from the water.
So I was running the water so the girls wouldn't hear me because I was in the zone. And I was just like, I can't forget this because it kept repeating in my
Right.
head. And then when we forget it, she's like, bath water. And then we'll remember. But now we don't forget. All right, one last one.
Okay. Want to start it? You said prayer song?
Do you want to do that one or do you want to do the Women's Honor song?
Women's honor song.
Okay, we honor you with the Women's Honor song. And when we come up with a Men's Honor song, we'll honor you next time. 'Cause I don't know that one. You might know that
Hey,
one. We
your
can do that.
neighbor's scaring me. He keeps coming out of his yard with watermelons.
What are you doing, George?
Aww.
No contact.
Aww.
Thank
I want you
you.
as a
Thanks,
neighbor,
George.
George.
Usually it's chickens.
Chickens?
Yeah. Thank you.
And that was Josie, Cherie, and Josie's Crazy
Crazy
Adventures.
Adventures!
Live at 5.
Live at 5.
Stories on the porch. Thank you very much, Miigwech, having us here.
Believe in yourself because you may be next. And if you're scared, that's okay. You can process that emotion.
Yes, there's a new one every 5 minutes, so you can get on it and ride it, or you can get off.
And everybody's got a story to tell. So we thank you for having us, and love, peace,
Harmony.
over and out.
Thank you both so much for coming tonight and for sharing your stories. Cherie, 17 years today is incredible. Thank you for gifting this to me. It means so much. I can't even put it into words how much it means to me. And thank you everybody that joined us here today. We're sorry you can't be on the lawn, but we're glad that you came. And Josie, as always, it's just such a pleasure. I feel so grateful to have you in my life.
Me too.
And I'm very blessed to have such wonderful friends and wonderful neighbors and a wonderful community to be able to share this with. So thank you both again. Have a wonderful night. See you next week.
Hey, we're waiting for our watermelons, George.